Fanvio fike na ba madrolo afan fire na ba madrolo ngolira blalo.
In a world where culture intertwine, a man's quest for spiritual enlightenment takes him on a transformative journey. Let me take you through the captain story of Pika Ivra, a man from Barbados who traveled to Ghana to immerse himself in the ancient traditions of Vodu.
I should say that my European or English name is Michael, but my African name, given to me in the elders, from the elders, Upper West, is Ika Ivla Kambere.
Mr. Kambere was taken through a lot of rituals. First among them was connecting him to Mother Nature. Have you ever wondered why chiefs and other chief priests or kings are hardly attacked by any kind of force or any kind of bad energy? These are some of the rituals that they've been taken through. So what it does is when you have covenant with the earth, it gives you such protections against any negative energy, because every living thing on this earth has its root connected to the land or connected to nature. When you become a child of the land or you become a child of Mother Nature, it sees you that yes, this is my child, so you can't harm him. So it happens in such a way that whenever there's any negative energy sent to you, it will become down by this Mother Nature. So this ritual is called Animadeke. The first protection Mr. Kambere had been taken
through. Like we were saying earlier, that the earth knows me. I have a covenant with it. So if someone tried to do something bad, then the earth will say, well, I have a covenant with him, I know him. So whether you want to, if you have some bad intention, then the earth will not agree with the bad intention to the family or the person that has a contract with.
You could see the African DNA running through him without anyone telling you. He was, however, ready, open-minded to work with the gods and also work with our forefathers.
I'm living in the Caribbean, but if you know, the people, the blacks in the Caribbean, are descendant from the people from this land. So they have taken us there. So for me, this is a journey where I am reclaiming my tradition. In other words, they have said at Amina Temple, the gate of no return. But how I see myself, I'm returning through the gate of no return to receive and to clean my DNA and to reclaim my ancestry. So indirectly, I'm a West African.
Let me use this time to introduce to you the great Togbi behind this whole ritual who made this whole thing successful. Togbi Havon is a profound traditionalist who is based in Akosombo in the eastern region of Ghana.
Yo, nkonye Togbi Havon awute etonlia le fiawo vakpaji. La kana bagare gbogbo malo de kono vakpaji a Togbi Havon kabata agbonu gbaja. Medo modina kha da khala se ha akploga kaka afiawa na ale kaka ngwasese ha shade ko da shade ha ye edagada ta nkonye ma.
Togbi works with a lot of gods, which helps in dealing with a lot of spiritual problems and then spiritual encounters. So I'll be displaying his number 2 on the screen for anyone who have any issues regarding any spiritual challenges to contact him. So let's dive into the second ritual, which is Wetoku, the one you are watching right now.
Oh, amaga kujo to kujo boli bla boli te. O ma te o gore ma gore tu mala ma sia. Ya ko ya ko to kujo tu pa da. O ja ra to. De lo ko na sa be apa to no ko ba. Ivla. Aba kaya itu be ya mo ni ya. Da ko yi da ma tu. Fu aba le ko da ko ni se to ko na mo. Kada tuka na to bla. La to.
At this point, the deity was asked to tie down the fowl if truly he received Mr. Kambere in his premises, and just by asking it once, the fowl was tied down, which means he truly welcomes Mr. Kambere. After that being asked, now the fowl will be ruled by Mr. Kambere until the deity kills it by himself, for another way of showing that Mr. Kambere is truly welcomed or is not keeping any secret from the people. The fowl hasn't taken long before it was killed by the deity. This also shows the authentication of Mr. Kambere as to how he came to take the deity. If there should be any secret, this fowl could have lived for longer hours, because this actual deity doesn't has any secret being hidden. You have to keep asking and asking until the last secret revealed. So whilst the fowl died in no time, it shows the authentication of Mr. Kambere that he is here to actually and truly work with the gods and with our forefathers.
yo wona ikaji yiminya ba miano vi kakpono le nyakaji afia nkoynya Evra eka Evra acho afugodo eva country ako manya yo na mo la ba aba yo ama yibo yo de ko ikanya togbi yo ko wale fiefu wa ko de te fada ko yo we ba nya dubli bo ikama yo le ta ma yibo yo nya la boyo ma le fima ba zo do pito ta ava gbonya na manya ba ya va gbonya ya wa de taguna as do srovi na ma do lo teneyi no ba lo do ta ma wo Vodu ni na ya do fima abanya gbashi via na nyu srovi ana ta ava ikaba mi do lo te ba ko Vodu ma vene alo ma ton ikaba wa sobo pa po ba gbonono anya mai togbi onya ta ma banya yevu fia fi ma obo domi dore ko wa za amai bo ni gbaji viwe ta eleba mi ko Vodu ani ka bana chona ba jodi na yevu na nya mi amai bo vi mi sesa wo ta mi ro lo to ni
On his arrival, Mr. Kamberi had made it known that he has been to the upper west region of Ghana before, which he had been an initiate of the hunting gods. So during his time with Togbi, he has been taken through another process for sophisticating that hunting gods and other rituals or other processes which might differ from the ones he already knew. He also made it clear that it is the attraction of how the gods works that makes him travel back to Ghana.
My mission is the attraction, meaning that if I see a tradition happening and there's something about that display in the tradition that I'm attracted to, it means that the spirits that are with me or the gods that are with me have some interest or some connection to that. So in seeing the koku, immediately I feel so strong connection to the koku. Even so, last year in Upper West Laura, I did the hunter initiation. So even though we call it a hunter, I see a hunter as like a warrior, all right? So now I see the koku as part of that, continuing the legacy of the importance of warriors, especially in the West, and especially in those people's minds who are thinking like Westerners and having no respect for the tradition. So in order to deal with this mindset effectively and efficiently, you must be like a warrior. To change, to help them to understand that your tradition is important and that your tradition respects who you are. So if you have no connection to who you are at that DNA level, then your spirit can't be happy. So my mission is to reclaim my ancestral legacy.
So the joy in him for the tradition is to reclaim his ancestral legacy all the way from Barbados. You've heard him talking about Koku. Let's deep dive into Koku. What is Koku, the warrior god? This deity Fremanikoku is actually tagged with the name warrior god because it gives protection against knife, object, any sharp object or guns. That's why this deity is called a warrior god. During the time of Mr. Kamberi, he had been taken through all the necessary sophistication which will make him anti-cut. That is the moment you saw him being cut with the knife but it wasn't penetrating. So Mr. Kamberi has been taken through all the necessary rituals and processes that can suffocate him from being cut by a knife or being penetrated by a bullet or any kind of sharp object. So this deity is called Fremanikoku, the warrior god. During the time when people are being possessed or people are being taken by this spirit, they try to demonstrate it by cutting themselves and to show that the knife won't penetrate or that gun or whatever it is won't penetrate. So you will see them also trying to cut any kind of leaf or any kind of tree with the same cutlass or knife that they will use in cutting themselves. That is just to demonstrate to you that that knife or that cutlass they are holding is very sharp, and by doing it like that you can be able to confirm it by yourself that actually this knife or this cutlass is sharp. But trying or using it on themselves, you will see that it's not penetrating or it's not cutting them. So that is another work, or that is another work of Fremanikoku. So Fremanikoku is to give you protection against gun or any knife or any sharp kind of objects. And actually to our brothers in the diaspora, whereby always you are being held at gunpoint or being attacked by a knife, this is actually going to be good for you all. So you all have to try and come and be taken through this process or rituals.
Well, what do you do first if you don't understand something? You ask a question, isn't it? But the war mindset suggests that you know and that you understand. Those who are traditionalists will clearly see, well, okay, these people are speaking out of ignorance. So the same thing in the West, the same thing in the Caribbean, the same thing in the Americas. You have those who are trained by the Westerners, trained by the Europeans to think like Europeans. But then you have some in the community, a small number, who are ready to return, who are ready to embrace the tradition, who are ready to take on board the culture. And there are a few of them around me, and I'm working with them to help them to make the elemental connection, make the ancestral connection, and help them to change the blueprint of the DNA that has been covered with dirt, preventing them from seeing.
Yo ho the kamkwenya amagaku ni kweni otoku bakwe yene na make abahu tagbagu ikanya Fremanikoku fo tagbagu tamanya hunsunwonyo tagbagu eleshi yene na make ahu azakpo ikanya protection alo akpokon ikabana la fumana fo ajanyin kulo amakukugo nene makana tu didi magmo ha amazoga ajoga tangu yo va khoko akpɔxɔnu sɔŋ Yorùbá xɔ. Ta gbegbo ale be xɔ ame etɔ̃. Nyanya me tɔgbi wonye. Afi ne wòɖu vodua alo wòako vodua ayi zoa alo tso vodua tso zogbea afi wòakoe. Fifia dɔsrɔ̃vi wonye. Tata gbegbo le esi. Ne ame aɖe be ahiã ke fu ɖem nɛ alo ame aɖe be yesrɔ̃ ye gbem, ame aɖe be yeazɔ mɔ ɖe ata no mawo blam ɖe gu dzi. Gake vodua me ƒo go. Tashina yavi ke woɖo gbata nɛ. Vodua na ƒoe.
Yes, so those are the energies or those are the deities that Mr. Ivra had been initiated to, or that had been given to him to work with, and how he is going to use them and how they are going to be with him, that had been explained by Togbi. One of the major challenges or one of the major things we all got thinking about is how is he going to communicate with the deities, because the language is we thought might be a barrier, but this is what Togbi had said about it.
Ajagba fofone la fia ko ngu wasro manya gba ba ga viare ya ta asro ngu da shine da fare ta abi azo more fia e fa ta ma ko la magbene be mozogo e chole gbani ta fare go ka ka yen to bi gba fudu ada go ma go ba fi mo yina ma ga yo yen to bi gba fudu ta asagbani agba fogani fudu asagbani ho e ma asagbani ma blogani ma ga yo ta asagbani.
On the departure day of Mr. Kamberi, when he was about to leave, he has to ask permission from the deities before leaving. So actually, Toby allowed him to do this one on his own. So actually, when he was asking the permission, any question that the deity had been asked, he said no to it. Anything that the deity had been asked, he said no to it. We were all confused at that point that what is actually happening. So we get to a point where he has asked a certain question which he hasn't told anyone. You know, as a man, everyone has a secret. So there was a secret. As I've told you earlier on, that with this particular deity, we don't hide any secret from him. So there was a secret where he will be going to, he said he'll be going to Upper West, Laura, to go and confront someone or something he wants them to do for him. And actually that might lead to a fight, which, a fight, anything can happen. So there was a time where he asked, is it because I'm going to Laura to go and confront these people? That's why you don't want to accept my permission? And the deity was like, yes. So Toby was like, you never told me that you were going there before. He came up to say, I'm going to Laura. I've asked someone to do something for me. And the thing hasn't gone the way I planned, so I want to go and confront them. So the deity told him not to go there. That this is what happened.
The fire. So watch how they're holding the fire. Right. The fire won't wake up. And you don't tie it, that means the fire will wake up again. So take. Take and care for talk. No, you'll be there.
Say it.
Yeah.
Go on my
I won't go now. Ali.
You put yourself in position. Yeah, good.
Let's try that. Well,
Watch how he's going to do it. Watch.
Anyare la show na glory. Kakakangwa, anyare la show na glory. Afi mi someone na to kara toblea. Dabane.
He said he was asking. Asked how you are moving today. Is that a problem?
Okay.
If that's the problem, then you should tie it.
Okay. Apetoku. Is the problem that I am moving today? And if it is, you should tie the bird.
With your rope.
With your rope.
Swale.
Don't
Don't
say
say
that.
It's a matter of waste.
It's
okay.
a chore.
It's okay.
You jamo chore. When you're that
Ask whether you move tomorrow will be okay.
Abetoku, is it better to move tomorrow?
If it's better to move to, we should tie it with each rope.
Then you should tie it with your rope.
Very good.
Get back. Like come you are on it.
Is it today? But you have some ritual to perform for him.
Is it today? And then do I have some ritual to perform for you? Then if it is so, tie it with your
Don't
rope.
make them black one go floor. Come moji ku here there.
Do you have a problem on the road?
Do you see a problem on the road? Then tie it with your rope. Is it where I'm going to pass before I leave to go home is where the problem is? And if it is so, tie it with your rope.
So now it's up to you. If you have
You
any
ask
question,
again.
ask.
So do you go straight from here?
Alright, well,
Mm.
do I need to perform some ritual of offering before I go where I'm going? And if it is so, tie it with your rope.
Cái phải là bên trên nàyอยู่cái bé cho về ăn đuổi. Cả cái này
He's asking whether that place is not good for you to go, or you should move from here straight to your country. Yeah. Ask that.
Is that place that I'm supposed to go not good for me to do now? If it is so, tie it with your rope.
2 questions.
That was 2 questions?
Yeah.
The movement from here to where I'm taking you, if it is so, then tie it with your rope.
cái này đi bằng đi bia nó phải ra bỏ rồi. Đi đi nữa.
Oh, mi bien ko. Kero ko ko do ko twe, bia mo ko twe ko oju ya fi oju na.
Aba maka tu.
Maybe a question.
So they bring the deities that I have in my bags, they come to me to introduce to you before I go on the road. If this is so, then show me you will tie it with your rope. Pray to you first,
Ask permission.
or ask permission from you first, before I go to Upper West. And as I leave there, should I then come back to you before I make my way home? If this is so, tie this with your rope.
Is that a problem?
Is the problem the moving of the deity of you before
I move.
I move? If this is so, tie this with your rope.
Probably ever knowledge be problem in
Tu la fia tu
upper west.
Burkina Faso? If this is so, then tie it with your rope.
There fear of your mobile and you
want to go to that place too.
You want to go to Burkina Faso too?
Yeah, this is where I did my initiation.
Okay. About my you are home.
But there's been some problems.
There is a problem there.
There's some problems there.
You know the problem.
One boy in the village.
Sit down for him.
Yes, so we've cut that conversation short because that's supposed to be a personal and private matter. So what the deity was telling him is that don't go there because you have a problem there. We just give you a clue of what he was supposed to go and do there, but the actual issue or the actual conversation is supposed to be private, so that was kept private. So he was told not to go there, and I hope and know that he is going to obey that instruction from the deity. So we went ahead to make sure everything was okay before he moved, so that it doesn't actually draw to him any kind of bad luck or any kind of misfortune.
Will you receive the file
Okay.
and set off?
Will you receive the fowl before I set out? Now, if this is so, then tie it with your rope. Ask again?
He said he's showing something.
Yes.
If you put the file down and he didn't wake up immediately, ask that question again.
Okay.
Yeah,
If it didn't come up.
immediately. You see, there's
Right,
some
so
when
if
you put
again, before I go, and if it is so, tie the fowl with your rope.
So after the deity had actually instruct him, tell him what to do, now he has to hold the fowl for the deity to kill, which will also show that actually there's nothing there to be done again, or there's nothing there that is supposed to be performed, just as it had happened the first time where the deity killed the fowl by himself. So it is the same thing that is going to happen here. When the fowl dies, that means that there is nothing to be done again. But when it doesn't, then that means there's something. They have to restart everything again. So let's watch what happened. With this deity, you can come and check why your businesses are not going on well. You always have issues with your health, your sleep, you are having bad dreams, a whole lot of spiritual issues. What this does is you keep asking that if you yourself you've done something that is drawing all those bad or negative energies to you, you have to ask. You'll be asking until you reveal the last secret, or you remember the last thing that you did that might be causing those issues. If it's that, you have your answer here, then you perform the necessary ritual. It is not until someone is in the position like Mystic and Mary now before rituals is being done to these particular deities. Anytime that you have this kind of feel that you have a spiritual issue, you can contact Togbi for this kind of rituals. So it is done anytime when you contact Togbi. So you have to come and check your own life that what is happening. Why it seems like your health is not stable, your businesses are not going on well, you are suffering. There are a lot of bad or negative energies around you. Sometimes it depends on what we done that draws all those bad energies to us. So you have to come and know that if it is because of that, what can you do? Then at the end of the day, you find solution to your problem. So this deity is always there to help you out of any kind of spiritual problems or any kind of bad energies tormenting you. Is it any kind of witchcraft, whatever it is, this deity is there to give you such kind of protection or such kind of solution to that problem.
So, no. Don't forget.
Some might feel disappointed after the deity revealed his secret because it was actually something he is trying to keep to himself. But this is how he felt. He felt it like it was a reminder, but not a disappointment, because actually the deity tried to save him. This is what he said.
My reaction is not necessarily one of disappointment. It's just that, it reminds me that, we are all human. And a lot of the times when you come to sit in front of the deity, you may have some questions when you're not in front of the deity. But then when you sit in front of the deity, sometimes the expression for the questions that you have may not always find itself willingly, coming out or presenting itself. And it reminds us, and it reminds me that when you sit in front of the deity, you should be calm, you should be relaxed, you should, compose yourself and allow for your own personal energy to come up gently to express or communicate with the other world, with the deity. So for me, it was more of a reminder that if there's anxiety, if there's turbulence, then the things that need to come up sometimes can be hidden. So calm, peace, relaxation, quietness is important when sitting in front of the God. No, I have no questions. I have no doubts. I have no reservations as to whether it will work. Those reservations that are not presenting for me as an issue sits in a place where this tradition is hundreds and thousands of years old. This is no New Age knowledge or New Age information. This is old age, time tested. So based on that fact, based on that legacy, based on that information, I sit and I stand on the shoulders of all of those ancestors, all of those deities that have been walking the earth, put here to work with us. I stand on that background that these deities and this information has been time tested for eons and eons.
Yo, le Africa vio, yo ke la boyo me. Bagbe na jigere ba yo voro do finemi. Ita jigere nenye wojube mi kpo fi de fe mi ade fi na wo nenya me da magbe na fi ma de. Aga ne fi do fi dia ya gble vivina. Ta egbe ye mi la fi agoji fia nenya amaibo vi de shade ke la boyo me le yo vodo Ghana du comme fika ngba iji ole ko hia ba no pere nko never me pekple du ba ma pele mu.
Okay, to ke mi ata panu
ta mi akata mi nya ko mi atro ko de ko wa bo na wo na fia ma tro ko de ko wa mu amade edo ya ma huje ba fi wa do fia ya tro ko de ya ma eni e fa de ko mu ntia ka wo de nka mele tro kabacha
yo tobi akba
yo.
Yeah, so those ones who are not sure, those ones who have a feeling as though they want to connect with tradition, it has been implanted in your mind already to see tradition as something bad, as something evil. Know that this thing that you're feeling or that is coming up in your mind is something that has been planted in your mind by your colonizer, by those ones who want to control you. So because there's a part of you now that wants to reclaim that feeling of fear is the thing coming up to stop you. But I've gone through it. But as I have fully crossed over the line, there is no evil. Yes, there's bad in everything. If I take a knife, I can use the knife for cooking, or I can take the knife to take someone's life. It depends on how you want to use it. So, yeah, those who are looking to follow the tradition, or you have some feeling as though maybe this is something I can consider, know that your ancestors are giving you a nudge to tell you that the time is now to reclaim your tradition.
Okay.
And the time is now to identify you as what you're here to do. And that is part of the warrior clan that is needed going forward. Because, as I said to my brother last night, within the next 10 to 15 years, traditional African medicine is going to boom, explode.
Wow, awesome.